This video is going to be showing you a solo flawless Harbinger mission during the week 3 variant. First, I just want to say the boss run or the run itself, and skip to the timestamps that you have available to you, which I've put in the video. Or if you want to see the mods that I have on, then this is going to show you that. So this is going to be done on a walk. The reason why I'm making this video is because a lot of solo flawless Harbinger missions I've made in the past, I'll get comments on those that might say, oh, this isn't my week. So I might have made a video on week 1 variant, somebody's in week 3, they've watched the video 2 weeks later, they've searched solo flawless Harbinger and it's come up with the wrong mission type for them, right? So a lot of people, there's a lot of people request for this mission. I don't feel as though Harbinger seems to be a hot topic, but it does seem to be at times, especially when this week comes up, when people want to solo it and what have you. So that's the reason why I'm doing this mission, and it's on a Sunday, so there's nothing going on in the game, so it's a good time to sort of post it. So the modifiers on this mission are incoming arc and knockback damage is increased, match game, chaff, denial, taken battles summon their shield significantly more often, champions are unstoppable. This is just going to be a tick list to show you what I've got on. There's various different loadouts that will work, loads. This is just what I'm using right now. That's it. So we've got Chaos Reach on, Pulse Grenade, and a Heal and Rift. Paired that with the exotic boots, Geomag Stabilizers, which we know improves and extends the Chaos Reach Super. So we've got that on, obviously. Then we're using a Kinetic Scout Rifle, Hung Jury, the Adept Edition. Doesn't matter if you want to have the standard Hung Jury. If that's all you've got, as long as it's got explosive payload, you're good to go. If you still don't have a good Hung Jury, use Night Watch. Use your Night Watch explosive payload, because that's still an excellent weapon. Don't forget, Night Watch is still top tier. Hung Jury is, and Hung Jury is maybe slightly the better weapon now, because there's Adept versions. But if you haven't got all that stuff, Night Watch, you can still depend on it. Or if you want to use Energy Scout Rifles, use it, and then use a Kinetic GL. If you want to do it like that, if you've got a God-rolled ignition code, make it work, that's fine. Just make sure you've got a couple of different shields available to you, because you're solar, because obviously you need to cover void, solar and arc. So I've got a solar grey launcher, empty vessel here with blinding grenades. Bring along your salvo, because we're going to switch to that, the boss fight. So that's arc, and that's solar. And then we've got an exotic sword, which is void. That's why I've got black Talon on. I've also got it on to show you the utility of it. I could have went Lament and it would have worked out really well, but I don't want to do it with Lament. I want to do it with this sword, okay? And then for armor mods, we've got GL Ammo Finders on, Charge Harvester, which you get Charge of Light the more kills you get, has a chance to cause you. So there's a bit of RNG with it, but you can. I just put that on, just messing around. I wouldn't really recommend this mod, to be honest with you. You lose -10 recov as well. Then we've got Shield Break Charge on, which you get Charge of Light by breaking a shield. This is definite. There's no RNG to it. Anti-Barrier Scout, Unstoppable Grey Launcher for the Champions and the Vandals. Arc Damage Resistance and Concussive Dampener. Loosened Blade, so we're using a Loosened Blade build. We've got Taken Charge, so that's another way of getting charged with light from Orbs of Light. Double GL Scavenger for our Grey Launchers. Breach and Clear to debuff any bosses or ultras, which I highly recommend using that seasonal mod while it's up. And then your stat distributions, just spec for mainly recovery, and then your secondary stats should either be intellect or discipline. I'm the playstyle of like an intellect discipline. That's just my playstyle. That's not to say my playstyle is wrong. It doesn't mean to say your playstyle is right. A lot of people will do high recovery, high intellect because it's Chaos Reach. You want plenty of supers, but you get plenty of supers solo anyways because you get Orbs of Light from your Masterwork weapons. The Chaos Reach super itself can be disabled, so you still get super left. And also it has intrinsic perks that gives you super regeneration. So it's got everything in its setup for intellect. I'd rather have the higher discipline. That's just my playstyle. But no matter what, recovery, always spec for that. Charge Harvester cost me -10, which, as I said, recovery is so important. I wouldn't recommend that mod, but I was using it at the time. That's the setup. So like I was saying earlier, since there's been people requests for this, I'll provide commentary because it's for them. It's going to help them out system rather than just post a run with nothing in there extra to help them. This isn't a run for maybe content so much. It's more just for those people who have requested for it. That's all it really is for. And I suppose it is for content as well. It fills the gaps It's a Sunday, there's nothing going on, so it's a good time to post something like this. So, as I said, this mission has 3 different variants, and the routing changes depending on that, and where your enemies are going to be located, stuff like that. The start bit though will be the same all the time. There'll be a sniper on this perch here. You can generally just kill him quick enough. I ended up just going to this the dam area without killing him, but I was taking damage from him, so just be careful with that. But if you want to kill him, you can kill him. It's no biggie. You're not wanting to speedrun this, you just want to get it done. Whatever reason you want to get it done for. I don't know why so many people want to get the Soul Flawless Harbinger done this season. Maybe they're still leveling up, maybe it's Pinnacles, or maybe they haven't done it and maybe they want to do it. So there could be various reasons, I guess. But with our loadout, if you're going to copy what I'm using, this works out really well. The wizard, wait for the wizard to sort of push you, and then you can use 2 black talons and just about get you immune. If both black talons hit though, I believe he will be immune, so one of my black talons missed. That just shows you the amount of damage it does though. It's a burst damage sword. It's not meant to be used continuously. It's meant to be a sword that you pull out on a key target, do your 2 swipes and swap back, and it works out really good with the Lucent Blade as well. Once you've cleared the wizard, you then obviously have to proceed to the next encounters. So I'll just explain it to you as if you have never done this mission. It's probably the easiest way. There's the Void Wizard, which is a key target. It says the key targets on the side. There is a Void Wizard, there's an Arc Phalanx, and there's a Solar Knight. The Void Wizard starts first. You can only do half damage to them. They are hard capped for damage. You cannot one phase them right here because it would disrupt the whole thing of the mission. The idea is that it's a sort of maze type area in a factory, and it's numbered 1 to 5. So the area looks sort of similar, but there's numbers if you notice. So you can use the numbers to get your bearings. Okay, if you look closely. But I sort of know the route already. So you get the Void Wizard at the start. You then take the Arc Wizard, sorry, the Arc Phalanx. Then you go left where the Phalanx is spawned, the mini Phalanx. You can go up these stairs and quickly clear the Void Wizard. If you do it like me, you will get the same rotation as me, as in for the next part that's coming up. That's what a good thing about this mission is. You can decide your fate for spawns. So we're going to get another Wizard, a Knight, and a Phalanx on the next encounter. But depending on which one you kill first, depends. So if I kill the Wizard, the Captain, then the Phalanx, in that order, I will get that order, and I will know what spawns are. And that's very important. Because if you're set out of position, this isn't really hard, Harbinger, it's all about positioning. If you're out of position, you can die no matter what your power, because you're hard capped to the level of the activity. So a sniper can literally 2-3 shot you, no matter what your power. Ads can sort of hit you hard in this. It's not difficult, but they can hit you harder than what you would expect at times. So as I said to you, I'm going to do it Void Wizard, Solar Captain, Phalanx last. I'm doing Phalanx last on purpose. Now for the routing in this room here, if I took the Phalanx before this room, then come to this room, I have a quick entrance to the next encounter. That's actually faster. So I'm doing the rotation slower than probably what you need. But there's a reason why I want the Phalanxes on the next cycle to be last. Okay. Which you'll see, it'll become clear when I get there. So, could have used a bit of sword ammo, I wasn't. Just using a bit of my GL. But just make sure you're sort of slowly building up your ammo, because what you'll have noticed is you don't start the activity with full ammo, you start it with low ammo. If you really want to, you can go to a public event and banner that public event so you get ammo. You'll get max ammo, the game will remember that you have max ammo, and you'll start another activity and you'll launch with max ammo, like what a Grandmaster would be, but the difference is in a Grandmaster you start with full ammo automatically. For whatever reason, in lower tier missions you don't. Now we're going to take the final Phalanx. Just follow the routing on screen, there's nothing much else I can add to it. As I said, if you want your bearings, there's numbers on the side. But it's a case of, if you're confused by the maze of this area, just take the same order as I have, and you can't go wrong really. So now we'll proceed to the exit. There's 2 exits, as I said. If the captain was the last one I took, then there's actually an exit there to go right out. There's that exit to get to the next encounter, or if you do the rotation in an odd way, like I have, then you have to take this exit. So there's actually 2 exits to the next zone. The 2 parts of this run, I would say, people struggle mostly with the next part and the final boss, because it's 2 bosses. But as I said to you, so we've killed the Void Wizard first, so we're going to get 2 Void Wizards. Now, because it's on the first cycle, they won't be ultras. Okay, that's important to know as well. Whatever, say for example, I killed the wizard last, you get an ultra wizard on the last phase. It ramps up in difficulty, so the key targets are only red bars. Then on the second phase, the key target, whatever target you've killed, will be an ultra, or an orange bar, sorry. Then it goes to ultra on the final phase. So you could have had an ultra wizard, you could have had an ultra phalanx, depends on which way you kill them. I know I've got a solar captains next. And also you'll notice I haven't got my super, so that's why I've took the phalanx last. Okay, I took the phalanxes last on the other cycle, so that I would have a super for that phase. I'm just about getting it now. If I was to run about long enough, I would get it. But it just worked out in my time and the way I was doing it to have phalanxes last, because we want an arc super for that. We haven't got a predominantly arc weapon. Well, we've got the Salvo, but I'm not switching to that yet. The super will do everything I need it. I don't need to switch to Salvo until I need to, which is something I'll tell you about that as well when you swap into a weapon that's the same type. So I'll tell you that in the end when that actually happens. So there's just the 2 solar captains we need to take. The orange bar, as I said, there's 2 orange bars, because the difficulty is ramped up. That's the whole idea of this sort of encounter, to survive. Your position doesn't matter too much on these phases, because it's a captain, they're not that dangerous. The wizards, not that dangerous, because you can just take them with a sword. The phalanxes are the hard bit, because what it is, one fixed thing about this is, whatever phase you have phalanxes on, you will always get snipers. So that's a big thing. So you can control when you get snipers. Do you want them on the first phase, second or third? I want them on the last phase. So we're going to go up top. This is a real good place. For whatever reason, my character was locked and I couldn't heal rift. Don't know why. But eventually I got my healing rift out. And then what you want to do is focus 2 or 3 of the snipers. Any of those that you can see. Take out the additional sniper. You'll get 2 snipers down below, but you won't get them until you kill the 2 arc phalanxes. So I've killed them. That will then spawn in 2 additional snipers down below. So there's 3 snipers up top, 2 snipers down below. That's your 5 snipers. If they all hit you at once, you're dead. It doesn't matter if you're 1500 power. It doesn't matter if you're like artifact power plus 40. It doesn't matter. They'll kill you regardless. Okay, you're locked to the activity. Obviously solar resistance will help out, but we don't really need solar resistance because that's not buffed for this mission. You can also take both unstoppables from up top if you really want to. Okay, you just need to calculate how much ammo have you got on the floor. Now I don't have any sword ammo because I went double GL ammo finder. That's something that you'll notice. So I've actually proved to myself here. If you don't do the sword ammo finders, or if you don't match all your weapons, you won't get that weapon. You won't get as much ammo as you would like for that desired weapon. So, yes, double GL ammo finder and double GL scavenger will stack with each other, but it would have been better to have one of each. Maybe 1 GL, 1 sword finder. But it's fine. I've got above half ammo, and there's plenty of opportunities to get more ammo. So that's the survive encounter done. This part's just a jump maze. This jump maze changes every week. This is very important you do this. Stop. Once you go through that portal, stop. If you don't, there's a chance you may bug the mission out. You must wait to see reach for the shard. Reach the shard. You see that checkpoint marker come up? You can start. If you go through too quickly, it's happened to me a couple of times. I don't know if it's exclusive to console. I don't know if it happens on PC. But you actually bug the whole mission out. The bosses won't spawn in. None of the ads will spawn in. So don't just wait. Wait for the checkpoint marker to do its thing and then go for it. This is an easy route to take. It's one of the easiest weeks for the jumping part. You'll then come to this section here where people would start to fight their ads. Don't. Just keep running. This is safe enough to do. Jump over here. Jump past the 2 snipers that spawn in. Equip your sword if you want. To guard if you need to. But other than that, that's pretty simple. As long as you just start running straight away, you can get through easy. You'll have one void wizard to take here. We get our heavy brick, which is good. We'll use one swipe. Now, you'd think that would lose my Lucent Blade. It won't, because I've got shield break charge on. So I've kind of used it. But you'll find I'm keep getting it back because of all the shields. Especially at the boss fight with all the arc shields. Which is why charge harvester is not needed. I don't know why I put it on. I was just messing around, to be honest. You don't really need it. And the higher your recovery, the better everything is for this final boss room. So you're going to get an unstoppable right before the entrance. One key thing is if you don't die, you can come back here. But if you die in the boss room and restart the checkpoint, the door or the taken stuff, wherever it is, locked behind you. Okay? Whereas if you do it on your first clear, you can actually come right back here. The thing is, if you do that, you're going to get yourself stuck because of how the ad spawns work. Make sure you're starting with charge of light. Well, I mean, I guess you don't need to because you can get shield breaks, but I started with it, so that's fine. Also, this is when you want to swap to the Salvo. So you have no need for a solar grey launcher. It's wasting your time. This is where we brought the Salvo. Now, I've said, if you have the same weapon type of a weapon, you can swap and you don't lose any ammo at all. So say I had a shotgun, the same shotgun in the same slot, swap it to another shotgun, you keep your ammo. Snipers, everything. It's just it's something you won't realise because a lot of times you're in nightfalls or things like that where equipment locks on. So you never get the opportunity to change stuff unless you can change your weapons. So we're doing damage to this target here, which is, he's being awkward, he keeps falling off the map. But it's better to take this boss first. There's a phalanx left and there's a phalanx right. So essentially this room has infinite wave of taken for all. They just keep coming and coming. The snipers spawn every now and then. They're on a timer. It is important to know when they're up though, because they're dangerous. Be careful with Salvo, because if you shoot a target too close, it will kill you. It's not like blind and nades, you can tank the damage. With Spike, it's a lot more. We'll get the boss debuffed, which is when he is transported to middle. That's a good time to do your Chaos Reach. Make sure you debuff before you use that Chaos Reach, because that does massive damage. And at this point, you can just keep breaking the boss's shield from here. Okay? So the boss is in middle. All the snipers are on the other side. Avoid resistance would help against the orbs that they do, so that would be also a good thing. So as I said, if you don't want to do arc, at the very minimum do void. But it's not a problem, you can tank that damage. Obviously if you under level for this activity it won't be the same, but you know, most people are above this, the power of this mission. I don't even know what it is. 13, 20, something like that. Just prioritise your health. Only peek shoot every now and then with the gel. Don't go too mad. He's literally very weak. So we're good for that. These two areas you can get a bit of cover from all the enemies. A high recovery as well will help you get more healing rifts. I screwed my grenade there slightly, just didn't aim it high enough above that rock. That's fine. Their boss is now killed. Now obviously, as I said, on the Salvo you must put on Vorpal Weapon. Demolitionist helps out as well, but put Vorpal Weapon on because it just makes it easier. You don't need chain reaction. Okay. On a weapon like this you don't need that. You're using it for boss damage, you are not using it for ag clear. Your scout rifle will do that. I don't know why people use chain reaction on this weapon. It's their choice, that's fine, that's their playstyle, but the way I use it, a grey launcher or a rocket or something like that, is mainly on key targets. And if I'm using it on ads, it's fine, they're going to get wrecked by it anyways. Don't need the chain reaction. You could swap between the two, I guess. You could you swap to Vorpal when you're going to do boss damage, and then swap back to chain reaction when you do an ag clear. Whatever you want to do. So the first boss is killed, as I said. There's a lot of snipers on this side, so we have to be careful. There's a good place to stand on the map, which is just here. If you just have a healing right in there, you can do a good bit of damage to the boss, while ads aren't really hitting you so much. You need to be careful to the sniper to your other side of the map, though. He can get a shot on you. But to be honest, I wasn't playing the best right here, so you will see me get really weak. But that was more me getting caught or being too risky when I didn't need to be. But you can see there, nothing's hitting me. You can sword block. Keep an eye on that sniper. If there's a sniper spawn on your side, then you need to take him. Which you'll have a healing rift, as long as you're doing your healing rifts and as long as you've got a high recover. My recover wasn't really that high. But if you have a T10, you're going to have plenty of healing rifts. So we don't have Chaos Reach there. The boss is teleported because he teleports based on the HP of the boss. Okay? So I believe he's went middle, which he has. Which I didn't realise at first while doing the run, but yeah, he has went middle. So that's fine. When he goes to middle, that's your best case scenario. The hard part of this room's done. This is your cover. So now you can do all the damage you want, and you're safe. The snipers can hit you, but not much. As long as you take the sniper in front of me, where you can see now, you'll be able to you'll be able to survive very easily. The Thrall will sometimes push you, but they're easily took out with your Scout or whatever primary you've got on. You could switch to an SMG at this point, or maybe even an auto, a good auto, whatever you want. But what we can do now is just keep debuffing him, use a bit of Black Talon when possible, which does a lot of damage. We haven't got much sword ammo left. Make sure you're recharging the rate. This is the beauty of Black Talon as well. If I was to go in there with Lament, it's risky. It's riskier than what I'm doing right now. The thing is, you get health back off Lament, so that's fine. So you could still do it like that, but this is also a really good way of playing from range. But it's essentially just keep doing this, keep debuffing the boss from back here. It's super safe. It's not too bad, this room, but that was how to sort of safely do this room. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.